That breaking news, a scary scene at an IHOP after two people are rushed to the hospital following a stabbing. Authorities responded to a disturbance at an IHOP located on 125th Avenue and West Center Road just before 5 this morning. When they arrived on scene, they tell First Alert 6 they found two men with injuries, one with critical injuries and the other were non-life threatening.
A third possible victim has turned up at a separate hospital, and investigations are ongoing at this time.
If you have any information regarding this incident, contact Omaha Crime Stop.